There's a saying that time waits for no man, and when you're trying to complete your fan build before a certain big trip, this has never been truer for us. Over the past few weeks, you've been watching us race against the clock to see if we would make our trip to the wild Atlantic way. So are we going to make our trip now that time's up? Is now our last official video, if not last official build video, but last official build video before we go on our big trip, before doing the preparation for our big trip, and we have a lot to do. It's all the little sort of niggly jobs, so we're going to go through what we think. This might be chaotic because we're actually genuinely having a conversation about this right now. So what do we need?
To rip the whole van out and do a whole new one. I guarantee you after this trip it's going to be like, right, the kitchen's coming out, the bathroom's coming out, the bed's coming out, and we're setting fire to it. So priorities, I think for me personally, right, I want as little light in the van as possible for when we sleep. So we need to resize this cover. These are temporary covers, but that needs to be resized anyway to go in there. That one needs foiled back just as an extra heat shield for the gas cooker. We need a cover for the extractor vent just in case it's cold and windy when we go away. It's entirely possible. So we want to eliminate drafts when we're sleeping, and then light from the skylight. We do have these wee magnets I bought for doing things like this. They're actually very good. We're nearly using them as the cupboard door thingies, catches, but then I got cupboard door catches that work better. We've used them for that one, so if you remembered in one of our previous videos we got magnets that weren't very magnetic. So we got new ones, and that's still not cover very well. So I think we also need to do an extra plug for charging our stuff. We need to run USB somewhere around here for charging stuff. We have our USBs for our phones off the lights, so that's grand. They're all fused. Fridge is in. Need to secure the fridge some way. It's only going to be temporary. This entire side of the van's essentially temporary. So we have curtains for the back door. We need to do a curtain rail. We got one out of Harry Curry's. So we're going to put that curtain rail above. I think we mentioned it in one of the videos before we were going to do something like this. So we went out and we got the curtain rail. We're going to stick it along top and then get pencil plate curtains, which should be on the way today. What that's going to do, by the way, why we're putting curtains up isn't just to cover the big massive gap that you can see above the bumper. It's actually to keep a bit of heat in, because the back doors are a wee bit drafty with being sort of an older van and them being like ambulance doors with a ramp. The seals aren't great. They are watertight, but they're not exactly draft proof. So that'll keep a bit of heat in as well, and considering that's Tony's side, I just need to keep him happy. Yes, so there's a bit of an issue with the van in total, with the build. So you know the way we're saying about these cupboards eventually are going to come out further, like to this sort of idea. Yep. Like this is me. If I want to get into that cupboard, if I want to get into this fridge, I ain't getting. Well, I'm not going to be getting in the cupboard and the fridge at the same time. Fair enough. So you'll have a bit more space, but I don't see me personally being in this kitchen very much, to do much of anything, because I'm already closing doors with my big fat ass and I've hit myself off this countertop a few times. So I think kitchen belongs to you, really, because you're skinnier than me. Yeah. Until I get skinnier. But we'll have to keep essential snacks easy to get in this cupboard, so I can actually. He says as he says that he wants to be skinnier. We're not fat shamers on this channel. We're fat enablers. We should just rename the channel Fat Enablers. Turn around with the two fat. Poor Rosie, she's putting a wee bit of weight on now too.
Yeah, so she is. But Rosie's been going through it at the moment. For people who want an update on Rosie, she's just come off season, so you can only imagine she's very broody and eating a lot more than usual. But she will be in the video soon. We'll make a point of actually showing the star of the show.
Did I tell you what you did on me?
What?
So because I was off today, I thought I'd treat myself to a nice sausage sandwich. So I went sausage sandwich, thought, okay, I'll let Rosie come in and sit with me, right? Now usually she does get a little bit of sausage. Now that sounds horrendous, but yes, you would get a wee bit of a sausage, so she went out of my sandwich. So I'm sitting there, right, and I'm eating my sausage sandwich, and always she sits right beside me, like just waiting, just waiting, right? Today she decided she'd go whack, whack. So and I mean, full on slap me. And the third one actually got me across the face, like I was being like bitch slapped by the dog. By the dog. I was like, what is going on? How do you think this is okay? I'm being abused by my dog.
She's very much in her teenage years at the minute, and she's acting up big time. It's shocking.
Well, that's her thing. She can smack her father. Horrendous. Horrendous. I couldn't stop laughing. Like, it was so funny. And then I was like, obviously I had to tell her off a little bit and try and, you know, get her to sit in her bed. That lasted all 2 seconds, and then she was right up beside me again with her knee on my chin, just looking up at me. So I had to wait until she actually done something good before I could actually give her a wee bit of sausage, because there's no way I want to reward her for smacking me across the face for sausage.
But in the grand scheme of things, she is the dog dog for us too. She is, when she wants to be, she is such a good girl. She's not naughty all the time.
Such a character, like, so she has. She's such a personality.
She fits in with us. She fits in with our lack of. He makes up for it. So we finally got our cupboards in that you would have seen in last week's video, but one thing that we neglected to do, which we talked about in last week's video, was to put handles on the cupboard. We actually got these handles in Homebase before it went in the administration and pulled all of their stores out of Northern Ireland. They were just a pretty sleek silver colour, and they managed to do the job fine.
So, while we are travelling, we need to secure down our wastewater. So we have a big 25 litre jerry can, which is here. And what we're going to do is, whenever we're stopped, we'll just open it up and feed the tube for our sink into it. But I want to tie it down so it doesn't go everywhere when we're driving. So I'm going to, these D-rings I think we got are a wee bit on the big side, but they'll still do the job. So
Hello, welcome back to whatever day this is in the build. I am just back from work again. It seems like a lot of these videos are becoming me going to work, you getting everything done, and then I come home and get to enjoy it. So, what is the plans for today? Let's let the viewers know what we've been up to.
well, I haven't actually been up to anything yet.
No, we haven't been up to much. But we have. Well, we've got something to show.
Oh yes. So did we? So we have the curtain track up. Do we have? I don't know. Well, I don't know what's happening in this video
This
anymore.
is the joys of editing. We have the curtain track up. That's where we're at the minute. It's also a different day, and yeah. So through the magic of editing, this is all going to go together, and it's all going to look smooth and great and work out wonderful. Let's show the people the curtains. The big reveal.
So we've got curtains and curtain hooks. So we're going to throw these. It actually is a good-ish match. Isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not miles off, like.
No, it's not huge off. It's more ochre, but then we've got bed sheets that we're going to show you before we go. Throw on here as well. Those curtain hooks, let's see those. Let's get a close up of them. Does anybody remember these? Like, these are 90s fantastic for me. I also remember these being an absolute pain in the ass to put on.
No, they shouldn't be too bad. So they shouldn't.
We say now.
The biggest issue is going to be. Oh, we should have brought in the. No, we're showing that later. To get up onto the bed.
Oh yeah, we have something else to get up onto the bed, which you probably guessed what that is already. And it's something minor, but it's going to help a lot.
Well, we're going to show that in a different video. We also, so Tony doesn't want me to say this, so he doesn't, but I'm going to say it anyway, because I think you guys deserve the truth. So you will have seen in one of our past videos that we had issues with our Renogy unit. Now, fairness to Renogy, they give us a new unit, very quick, very good customer service, fair enough. We put it in, we tested it, it worked. We tested it a couple more times, it worked. We got into the van, I can't remember if we got into the van in this video or not, but we got into the van again, to start the van, to just check everything over, run the engine, and it didn't work. It gives me the same issue that we had before. So I contacted Renogy again about it, and there was just no questions at all. It was, okay, fair enough, we'll give you a full refund. Can't complain over the customer service. It has been very good. It's just a wee bit disappointing of the product, but it must be a known issue because they were very quick at responding, and it's either a known issue or they just want to keep me happy by saying, yeah, okay, fair enough, we're messing you about, we're just going to give you your money back. So it's fair enough. It's a wee bit, you know, it's a wee bit awkward now because we're going to have to try and get something else. We have got that ordered. We're going to go down a different route. Instead of an all-in-one charger, we're maybe going to have a separate solar controller and DC to DC charger, and then if we keep the units separate, it means maybe if we have an issue with one, at least we have the other one to back up onto. So there is that. So we'll probably install that in, well, probably later on in this video, really, because we're waiting on that to arrive. So we just don't seem to be having much technical luck with the van build at all, but we're slowly getting there bit by bit.
Yeah, and the reason, just to add, the reason I didn't want to include this is just because, I mean, it's a company as well. We don't want to make a bad reputation out of the company, because, and we don't want to seem like we're complaining all the time in these videos. But I suppose that is the harsh reality of it. Some things work, some things don't. There's probably a lot more that we've sent back, I think it's fair to say, in this van than what we had hoped. But I mean, I guess it just doesn't work out, and there's no point sugarcoating it. Let's just show the reality for what it is.
Well, that's the thing. Maybe people don't show you that element of it. Like, people just show you them putting things together, and then, yeah, they're away on their trip and they're enjoying it. But we want to show you as much of the reality as possible, you know, be honest with you as much as possible. And it just hasn't been as easy as we thought it was going to be. But, you know, a challenge is a challenge. I'll take any challenge. And learn a wee bit from it as well. It just things happen, and that's all it is to it. We're just trying to get the van to the point though where we can go on the trip, because we really don't have a lot of time left, and that's what's putting pressure on us. If we were just to go, do you know what, the trip's just not going to happen, or maybe we'd have tried other things, I don't know, but that's putting a wee bit of pressure on, you know. And every time we turn around, we're like, oh, we want to do this to the van before we go, we want to do that to the van before we go, and we're now at a point where we're like, right, okay, we need to stop and go, enough is enough for now. One, I'm completely burnt out. I haven't been just burning the candle at both ends. I've chucked the whole candle in the fire. So I need a break away. So we just need to get away in the van and enjoy it for a week. I think, you know what, even if we can't get a charger for that battery, judging by the percentage of drop for all we're running, I think we're still going to go on the trip, you know, and just go as long as we can till the battery runs out, if that happens. Or try and find somewhere to charge the battery, because the mains charging works perfectly. So we're going on a trip. We don't know what it's going to look like yet.
Yeah. And on that note, and with all that off our chest, we are just going to go and put our curtains up. This is so professional.
So if we run out of battery, which means we run out of heat, our curtains will keep us warm.
There we go. We're going to wrap up in them.
We are planning for that though. We are like the last time, our first winter trip. If you watch that video, you'll have seen like we got one night, and then the batteries that we had in the van died. Fair enough, and we couldn't get plugged in. So the main element there was heat. We lost heat, but this time round, even if that were to happen, I think we'll be able to cope a wee bit more, because, well, one, hopefully it'll be, because it's a wee bit later in the year, hopefully it'll be a bit warmer. Not counting not holding out on that, because it is Ireland after all. But like with the curtains, at least that'll keep warmth on the back of the bed. And then we've got like stuff for the bed and all to keep us warmer. So yeah, we are planning for sort of worst case scenario, but hoping for the best, if that makes sense.
So, what do you think about the curtains?
They're yellow.
Actually, whenever you look at it on camera, it looks nice. I think it brings it together a bit more. Looks a bit more like less like a random sort of fan at the back,
and more like a random van with a yellow curtain.
Yeah, more like a we covered over our mistakes so that nobody could see them. Sort of a.
I just sheet the whole van yellow. I think it does match in quite nicely. Like, I was afraid of it being too dark, but even though it is a darker yellow, I think you still get away with it.
Yeah.
See, and it does. Well, like these lights are not going to be the ones that are on. So if we If you turn the lights off there.
Which one are we? So.
Yeah,
Saloon light, that one. And then put the spotlights.
Well, do you want me to do the bed light first?
I put the bed lights on.
Oh, can't reach that other one.
Oh well, it gives you an idea. See, I like that. I think that's a bit more beddy looking.
I can try and reach the other one, but viewers might get mooned. Yeah, let me see.
Very lazy like.
Do you know what? See, if I was just a little bit fitter, I wouldn't have this problem. Yeah. If I didn't have maybe so much ass.
There we go. There, I think that looks nice.
You need me out of the way first, or?
Yeah, we'll come here to that, yeah.
Oh, hang on. There's a bit of fluff on this.
Bit of insulation.
Yep. Yes, that looks nice. So it does. And then the maximum amount of light I would say will be. Where are we? Yeah. To me, that's enough light.
Yeah.
So we have a couple more packages for the van, and I am joined by my glamorous assistant, the Miss Rosie, the little Miss Rosie. You gonna help me open these? You gonna help me open these? I think she's just as excited about what's in here as I am. So we've said in this video. We said in a video about the issues we're having with the electrical system. So we have decided to change what we were doing, and we went with Victron stuff. So unfortunately, it is going to take up a bit more space, but we have plenty of space. I think Rosie's trying to throw heads here, so she is. So we did get Rosie a wee toy as well the other day, and it's essentially her weapon because it's heavy as anything, like, and she just likes to throw it at us. There you go. So this is a Victron solar controller. So as you would have seen, the Renner's unit that we did have that unfortunately isn't working out for us was a solar controller and a DC to DC charger. So what we've done is we've went Victron solar controller up to 30 amps. Is a Victron DC to DC charger. So these are both going to replace the unit we have at the moment, and hopefully these work out a bit better for us. So we're going to go out and do that today, and then I think while we're not going to film much of this because you've already seen sort of what we've done with the electrics in the van. So I think while I do that, put them in place, we'll bring you back and we'll show you them installed and then show you them working. And then I think Tony's going to make some window covers. I think Rosie's a bit interested in these, are you? No? No?
Okay, so it's the weekend again, and we're finally down to some of the last minute bits of the fan build. So what I'm going to do is make more of these for the window. I currently need to cut this one down to size. Then I'm going to make another one to cover this vent, and then I'm going to make another one to cover this skylight. What these are going to do, they're just going to keep more heat in, and they're also good for blackout too, whenever we're landing, so no light comes through here. So let's crack on. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by taking the measurement of this window so that I can cut it down to size, and then apply it as a template under the original one. So this is now measured to size and fits. What I'm also going to do is cover the back with foil tape so that whenever we're cooking we can avoid setting fire to the foam.
So that took a while. So we've removed the energy system and now we have went with Victron. So we have a new Victron MPPT solar controller and a DC to DC charger. And we don't have any sun now to test the solar controller, but it is registering that there are solar panels. So that looks like that's working. And then we did start the van to see is the DC to DC charging working, and it does seem to be charging, which is good. On idle it seems to be pulling in about 10 amps on idle, so that's quite good. So we just need to make sure then again tomorrow that it works, and then take the van for a spin and make sure it continues to work. But it looks good so far. I have to say the Victron stuff definitely seems how do we say it, like the units themselves are a bit heavier, so I don't know if they're maybe a bit more better quality. I'm not too sure. I know they are the staple of sort of like that van life thing, so maybe we should have went with them in the first place, but only time will tell, and it's just one of those things really, isn't it?
So I just want to add, although it hasn't worked out for Renogy, I want to say a massive thank you anyway. Your customer service has been absolutely excellent, and it didn't work out this time, but maybe next time. We still need to upgrade the inverter for the van, so there's a few things going around with that at the moment, what we're thinking of doing. So yeah, we have a 1400 watt inverter at the moment that came with the ambulance, but we do want to upgrade that to at least 2000, just to give us that wee bit more headroom with things. So we might go Renogy for an inverter, because I've heard good reports about them, and their price range is quite good. So I'm not discounting Renogy as a company at all. Like as Tony said, the customer service was brilliant. It is just a wee bit of a shame this one unit didn't work, but that won't stop me from buying and trying another one. So I think the time has come. The big, well-awaited, most massive thing that we've done in the van is finally going to be complete. Do you want to do the honours?
Well, you say complete. It's as complete as it's going to be for a while, so it is. So we are going to tick something off the list.
And I think honorary, I mean, for our trip, this was their list for our trip, by the way. This isn't the van finished. We've got 2 doors. We've got somewhat. Yeah, let's just discount. We've got 2 doors that we're going to use, so I'm happy enough.
So we're ticking this, are we?
We're ticking it.
That's not to say a third door won't be put on. No, there's no way we have the time to do that. Never mind. Never mind that comment at all.
What is the verdict as we end this video?
We actually have more stuff to put in this list.
We have more stuff to put in this. But are we going to make the trip?
Well, it looks likely. It looks likely. We still can't say for sure, because we still have quite a lot to finish. We say it in every video, but this is the last round of things we have to finish.
So I want all you guys to cast your mind back to an earlier build video whenever we tried to do the window tint, and they sent us one out, which was another thing that we sent back. We're sending back a lot. They sent us out one with imperfections, like a track down the middle, so we were able to just do sort of what we could with one of the windows, but we weren't really satisfied with the rest of the windows, because it was like we got to a certain point and then this track just appeared, which means we couldn't use the rest of it.
You can actually see it in that window now, so you can. We didn't think it was in that window, but there's like a mark right in the middle of it, but I'm not redoing it.
So with that in mind, and with us being on a rush to finish everything up before our big trip, we're finally going to tint this window.
Well,
fingers crossed.
We're going to try and tint this window.
But we do have a special thing that you're going to see in the lead up to our travels that we got for the outside of the van. And with that, bit of a spoiler alert, you might guess what it is, but with that a squeegee came. So thankfully we have the right tools this time, instead of just covering over a card to slap it on with.
Oh, an old card.
So we are prepared for once.
So some people have their tinfoil hats, but we have our tinfoil van. Block out all the aliens that are trying to steal our brainwaves. So we have finished our temporary window covers. So we have our one for the kitchen. We have already got this one done. We have this one done. We have, in case it gets quite cold, this extractor vent lets in a lot of a draft. So we have made this, which is a wee bit of polystyrene with a bit of thermowrap. So we just pop that in there, And it just sits nicely. And then just to sort of keep the light out, we have this, and we're going to put some magnets up, and then that will just magnet on like so. Now this is all extremely temporary, just so we can use it for trips and keep the van as dark and as warm as possible.
So people usually say on van life videos, people that live in vans, they've got loads of money. And we said this about, like, Dom and Emma were saying this recently in one of their lives as well. But does it look with these solutions, does it really look like people who are doing up a van have the money to do it? Because without these temporary solutions and with putting the piling the money into getting blinds and stuff, we would be broke. We would have to remortgage our house.
We would be broke.
Yeah.
We are broke.
We are very broke doing this van build.
It's literally, this whole van is being built out of any extra overtime that I do. So we have a set budget on what we need to sort of live on. And then anything over that, well, maybe we've got that plus a wee bit more. So it's really anything extra is what we're putting into the van. And that extra is not totally reliable. So there could be some months where I don't get anything. So we do nothing with the van. So all sort of last year, once we bought the van, we had a wee bit left over, so we started doing a wee bit to it, and then from then until sort of Christmas, we were able to buy a lot of stuff, especially we got a lot of stuff on sales as well, so we were able to get a lot of things cheaper than what we would usually get. And then from Christmas to sort of now, I got a good bit of overtime, so that's where this went into. But even right now, I haven't been getting as much overtime, so that's where the van build's going to start to go like that again. But it's good timing because we're sort of going to do this trip at the same time, which is going to be a bit more budget friendly. And then the priority was really to get the van at a point where we could use it as much as possible, so that we can still get out on trips, bring you guys lots of good content for whenever the van build does slow down a wee bit. So we'll always get to keep doing stuff.
So please, if you're out there and you want to sponsor 2 starving creators that are on the verge of homelessness,
we look like we're starving, don't
yeah,
we?
well, maybe not that well. But please, if you want to sponsor us for just £1 a month,
that's terrible.
we are gonna have to slow down with the fan build. But I think we're at a point where we're able to use it, which is nice.
One of the jobs I want to do, which isn't going to cost anything, well, isn't going to cost very much, is maybe take away the van electric, the ambulance electrics. But doing that is sort of the van would be off the road for a wee while. Do we do that? We still have the MOTs coming off of the van, so that's going to be scary. So it is. So we're going to get our big trip done, and then right after our big trip, we're going to have to get the van MOT'd. So that'll dictate as well what happens with the budget, because if it needs anything, then we don't get anything done with the van build wise. And then if it doesn't need anything, then we'll have a wee bit of money. But I have a bit of a suspicion we might need brakes. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
So, what is the verdict? Is it looking like we're going to make the big trip?
I think it's very likely now that we're going to make the big trip. We have the electrics done. I hope to God that is completely done. We'll do a few more tests just beforehand. There's like quite a bit of niggly bits and stuff we need to tidy up and get sorted out. We need to put breakdown insurance in place. Haven't done that yet. That's really important. So yeah, as long as we can get all the niggly bits done, we should be able to make it. Yeah, we should be good. We are hoping that something may be coming. Very cryptic.
I don't even know if I know what this is.
Well, you know, it's all up in the air, but something might be happening which is massive to the channel as a progression sort of standpoint, and massive for us. We'll give a little hint. As I said, we don't know if it's going to happen yet, but there is somebody who comments on all of our videos, and they said something, and they put it out into the world, and it looks like it may happen. So obviously we want to thank you guys for that. Please continue to comment on the videos, like the videos, and obviously subscribe, because it does help us. And if this thing happens, that might happen, then it just goes to show you how big of an impact you guys actually have on the channel. So stay tuned to see, does this mystery thing happen?
I'm trying to think myself. So keep watching, comment, subscribe, and hopefully whatever this mystery is pans out.